The morning the fence disappeared, the entire street went silent. No one expected that a simple wooden boundary would spark the most shocking HOA dispute the neighborhood had ever seen. When Oliver stepped outside with his coffee, he froze mid-step. The clean line that marked his yard was gone, replaced by a bright orange notice tied to a metal stake. It stated the fence violated community aesthetics and had been removed under HOA compliance authority. Neighbors peeked through curtains but avoided eye contact. Everyone knew the association enforced rules, yet no one had seen such a sudden action before. Oliver had built that fence with his late father. Each plank carried memories, not just property lines. Losing it felt like losing something sacred. He walked to the curb, reading the notice again, hoping the words would rearrange themselves into something less cruel. Instead, a final line made his chest tighten. Non-compliant structures will not be restored. But what the HOA didn't know was that Oliver wasn't planning to restore the fence. He was planning something they could never remove, and by the time the neighborhood understood what he meant, it would already be too late. By noon, whispers drifted across driveways like restless wind. Everyone wanted to know what Oliver would do next, but no one dared to ask him directly inside his garage. He studied the empty property line through the open door. The space looked larger, yet strangely exposed, like a home without a front door. The fence had never been about privacy. It had been about dignity, a quiet boundary between personal peace and public intrusion. His phone buzzed repeatedly with HOA emails citing bylaws, measurements, and visual harmony requirements. Each message sounded polite, yet carried the cold certainty of authority. Then one message mentioned fines beginning in 7 days if approved boundary solutions were not implemented. Approved. The word echoed in his mind. That evening, Oliver unfolded a worn notebook his father once used for construction sketches. Inside were neat drawings, careful measurements, and a handwritten note. Strong boundaries don't need to shout. He stared at those words for a long time. A slow realization began to take shape. If they removed his fence for breaking the rules, then he would build something that followed every rule perfectly and still protected what mattered by sunrise. He had already called a surveyor. 2 days later, small neon markers appeared along the edge of Oliver's yard. Residents slowed their cars, pretending to check mail while secretly counting the stakes. The HOA president, Mrs. Higgins, watched from her balcony with folded arms. She had spent years maintaining uniformity in the neighborhood. Order preserved property value, and property value preserved peace, at least. That was the belief when the surveyor finished. Oliver thanked him quietly and took photos of every measurement. He documented distances, angles, and zoning allowances with careful precision. Nothing he planned would violate a single regulation. That afternoon, a delivery truck arrived carrying sleek metal posts and thick transparent panels. The materials gleamed under the sun, modern and minimalist. Neighbors whispered again. It looks expensive. It looks permanent. It looks different. Oliver worked slowly, installing each section with steady patience. He didn't rush. He didn't argue. He didn't even look toward the HOA president's house by sunset. The structure reflected the sky like still water. It wasn't a fence, it wasn't a wall, and technically, it wasn't something the HOA had the authority to forbid. But its true purpose would only become clear once the first complaint arrived. The structure shimmered like glass, but felt immovable, anchored in reinforced bases hidden beneath polished stone. Sunlight passed through it, yet it created an unmistakable boundary. Mrs. Higgins reviewed the bylaws late into the night. Flipping pages with rising frustration, the installation met height limits, setback rules, and visibility requirements. It obstructed nothing and violated nothing, yet it changed everything. Children paused their bicycles to study their reflections. Dog walkers slowed down. Evening light scattered across the transparent panels, casting soft patterns across the pavement. Oliver's yard looked open, but no one felt comfortable stepping across the line for the first time. Boundaries were understood without being seen. A formal HOA inspection followed. Clipboards appeared. Photos were taken. Measurements were repeated. Oliver remained calm, answering questions with quiet respect. Every answer ended the same way. It complies. Days passed. No violation notice arrived. But something else began to surface. An unexpected shift in the neighborhood mood. Residents started asking why such strict rules existed in the first place. And that question made the HOA more uneasy than any fence ever could at the next community meeting. The room filled beyond capacity. Folding chairs lined the walls, and quiet tension hung in the air like approaching rain. Mrs. Higgins opened with routine updates, but hands rose before she finished her first sentence. A retired teacher asked why fences that offered privacy were banned. A young couple asked why approval processes took months while removals took hours. Another resident asked why compliance felt more like punishment than cooperation. Oliver sat near the back, silent, listening. He had not planned to start a movement. He only wanted his boundary back and his peace restored. But the transparent barrier outside had done something unexpected. It made invisible frustrations visible. When his turn to speak came, he stood slowly. I followed. "Every rule," he said gently. "I just needed a way to protect my home without losing the memory attached to it." The room softened. For the first time, people saw not a dispute, but a story. And the HOA board realized they were no longer managing fences. They were managing trust in the weeks that followed. The neighborhood felt subtly different. Conversations lasted longer. Neighbors lingered at sidewalks instead of retreating indoors. The barrier remained, catching sunrise. Colors each morning and glowing softly beneath porch lights at night. Mrs. Higgins walked past Oliver's property one evening, pausing at the edge. The transparent panels reflected her silhouette. Blending authority with vulnerability, she remembered when she first moved into the community decades earlier. When neighbors borrowed tools and shared evening tea, rules had been meant to preserve harmony, not replace it. The next board session included a proposal, revised boundary, guidelines to allow personalized fencing that met safety and design standards. It passed unanimously. When the letter arrived in Oliver's mailbox, he read it twice. He could rebuild his wooden fence if he wished, yet he found himself looking at the transparent barrier, at the sky mirrored within it, and at the quiet respect it now symbolized for the first time since the removal. He felt something unexpected. Not victory, peace. Autumn arrived with cooler air and golden leaves drifting across quiet driveways. The neighborhood looked the same. Yet something essential had changed beneath the surface. Children played freely along sidewalks. Neighbors greeted each other by name again. The tension that once lingered like unspoken static had dissolved into something warmer. Oliver never rebuilt the wooden fence. Instead, he planted small flowering shrubs along the inside edge of the transparent boundary. In spring, soft blossoms would bloom, a living reminder that boundaries could protect without dividing. One afternoon, Mrs. Higgins stopped to thank him. Not formally, not as a president, but as a neighbor. "I thought I was protecting the community," she admitted. "You were," Oliver replied gently. "We just needed to remember what community feels like." As evening settled, the barrier reflected. The fading light, nearly invisible against the twilight sky. What began as enforcement had become reflection. What felt like loss had become restoration. And what seemed like a dispute had quietly reshaped an entire neighborhood. And that was the final twist in this unbelievable HOA story. If you loved the drama, don't forget to like, subscribe to Karen Reilly, and drop a comment sharing your thoughts. It really helps this channel grow.